You've been with Washington Post too, and you must have read in the Indian media, people in India just feel that American media has a bias against India. Do you see that at all?
To be honest, I don't see that. In fact, I feel, generally speaking, a lot of positive energy in the U.S.-India relationship, in the public narrative. We are not 100% aligned on all issues, and we have had, some major challenges in the relationship too. But I think for the most part, our press covers these issues fairly. I'm sure you could point to an article here, an exception there that I would not contest, but maybe I'm too much of a defender of our press because I came out of that. But I think if you're focused too much on press coverage, you probably have a bigger problem than just the media. That your problem is explaining your own narrative about what is happening. And in India, in the United States, I don't think India has a major public relations problem. I think generally speaking, the attitude of the American people is positive towards India. I think there have been some times when we have been on different sides of important issues, and that's inevitable when there are two.
The social media narrative seems to be like, oh, Americans are taking away our jobs. They need to go back to India. There's a lot of that which is happening, and then some racial attacks which have taken place in, say, Texas.
Yeah, look, no doubt about that, and this sort of anti-immigrant sentiment, and to some extent, Indians in the United States are victims of their own success. They have been a very successful diaspora group in the United States, and that leads both to some people being very supportive and other people resenting that and being jealous of it. And one of the things I like least about President Trump's very intense kind of anti-immigration message is that it is doing, I think, a lot of harm, including to some of these relationships where immigrants are, again, as I said before, one of the most important ties between us. Indian Americans have made massive contributions to our country. You don't have to look very far around Silicon Valley. It's almost hard to find a company that is not led by an Indian American CEO, and they are deeply involved in our politics, in every aspect
Academia
of American
too,
society,
yes.
and academia for sure. And so, the fact that the number of Indians studying in the United States is down, at least by what I heard, up to maybe 40% in recent years, I don't think is a good thing for India, but I also don't think as an American it's a good thing for the United States either.
Yeah, and also many of those students who used to go were like full tuition paying students, not necessarily on scholarship and aid. So that's going to hit the universities too, because one, they're not getting funding from the government, U.S. government, many of them because of their policies, and two, full tuition paying students not coming, it's going to impact.
But I, to your point on media narrative, India is a country that has significant soft power. I think underestimates sometimes its soft power. You saw an example of this the other day with the AI summit here, which I know generated a lot of headlines for being crowded and chaotic and all of these things. But look who showed up at that event. This was not, middle management from the most important technology companies in the world. These were the founders and the leaders and the chief executives. And that happens almost every time India wants to kind of convene the world here. That is a strong signal of sentiment about India.
Are you bullish on India-US relationship?
I have to say, I have been. I still remain bullish. I do think damage was done last year. And maybe the most important area of damage is I started by talking a bit about distrust between the two countries. I think 25 years ago, there was a significant amount of distrust, even if the two countries recognized there is a lot in this relationship for us if we can get on the same page. The history made it such that I think there was just deep skepticism. And we have done a lot, Indian officials, American officials, again, Republicans, Democrats on our side, to break through that and to reduce the level of distrust and increase our ability to work even on sensitive issues like defense, like advanced technologies. I think trust suffered a setback last year. So that is something that concerns me. Again, diminishing people-to-people ties by reducing the number of students is something that concerns me because that's been ballast in the relationship on both sides, I think, historically. I think we all now have a lot of work to do to put things back on track.